my prediction was pretty close. So let's jump right into it. We're not really going to sugarcoat it. The Bears lost to the Los Angeles Rams 34-14 in a game that I was really optimistic about until the fourth quarter started. So just a quick game review. Bears were keeping pace for a while, 14-20 in the third quarter. It really falls apart near the end. I believe he hit Cooper Kupp for a touchdown, and that pretty much ended the game. All right, starting off with the big elephant in the room, that's the secondary was terrible, absolutely terrible. So 23, I believe it's Marquis Christian. I think he switched his number. Was absolutely terrible and should be cut after this game, because every 50-yard gain was on him and Eddie Jackson. Like, I'm wearing your jersey, bro. Like, it's so disappointing. Eddie Jackson has severely suffered from, I was on a top 5 secondary and I peaked, and then now that all of the pieces in this, now that I'm the leader of the secondary, I suck. It's Eddie Jackson's problem. He is suffering from the fact that we cut Amos and Callahan and Fuller and Trufant. Trufant played in the Saints game today and looked amazing. If Trufant was on this Bears team, I bet you we look a lot better, which just shows Ryan Pace's talent evaluation. And I get that he wasn't there for camp, but it still is exceptionally frustrating. Akeem Hicks played pretty well for the defense. Roquan was really good again. He did get burnt in coverage once, which really sucked to see because, he bit on a play action. He went for the run, and Higbee got like 3 steps on him. But besides that, Roquan played really well. Like, I can't sit here and crap on Roquan for his performance today. Eddie had 3 missed tackles, whatever. Jalen Johnson nearly had a pick 6, so I'm not going to shit on him. I think that he was the best player in the secondary today, even though I think he did get beat once or twice. It wasn't anything terrible. Deshaun Gibson made a few good plays on the run, and overall our run defense was pretty solid until the final drive when we were losing by like 20 and nobody cared. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what happened to Duke Shelley. I don't remember seeing him on the injury report all week, but we do desperately need him back because even he is somewhat of an upgrade because he's a freak athlete against this Rams team. And if this defense looks just as bad against the Bengals next week, then we have a really big problem on our hands. It's Ryan Pace's fault. Like, I don't blame Sean Desai because he has only 4 corners and 3 safeties to work with. I actually think for most of the game, Desai was calling good plays. Like, we got pretty good pressure on Stafford. A lot of his throws, he had to step up and make plays. Mack got really good pressure. Hicks, of course, got a sack. We sent really good blitzes. We stopped the run game for the most part. He had 9 carries for 25 yards before the final drive, and he only finished with like 55 on the game. So our run defense was really good. It was our pass defense. It was just bad, and I think it's lack of personnel. I think we're gonna make a trade at some point during the season to acquire another defensive back, because that's just flat out embarrassing that looked that bad. Like, it's such a fall from grace from going from a top 5 secondary to a top 10 secondary to a top 15 secondary, and now I genuinely think we're one of the worst secondaries in the league. But there are some positives to talk about on the offensive side of the ball, which I didn't think I'd be saying, but genuinely, I believe that our offense played pretty well. And I know that I'm going to get some crap for that, but I didn't like the play calling all that much. Don't get that twisted. I think Matt Nagy still needs to be fired for the most part. But I think Dalton did his job. I think Dalton hit people that were open. Like, Dalton didn't force any passes, besides maybe the first drive of the game, which was stupid. Like, that should have been a touchdown or a field goal. And that kind of changed the momentum of the game. Like, after that throw, which was tipped, by the way. Like, I don't know how the throw was going to go if it wasn't tipped. But after that play, the game just kind of was off kilter. But the running backs were amazing. Williams was really good in the receiving game, even though his running was kind of hit or miss. I think he had 3 negative runs and 3 positive runs. So the positive runs were there, and he played good on them. Montgomery is so good. He should have been on the thumbnail for this video if I didn't want to make a meme out of Eddie Jackson. And yeah, he's a top 10 back in the league, and nobody is talking about it. He literally stiff-armed Aaron Donald and Sebastian Joseph Day on the same drive. Like, he's so good, and people just aren't talking about it. Our receivers were also really good. Like, props to our receivers. None of them caught anything downfield. We could not hit a guy in motion. The only person who was catching passes and moving forward with the ball was Cole Kmet, and I appreciate him for that. I really like Cole Kmet this season. I think he's going to have a really nice year. Goodwin played really good. Like, no disrespect to Marquise Goodwin at all. He played really well. Mooney didn't drop anything. Can't complain. Robinson, same thing. Only 35 yards receiving on 6 catches. Like, I don't think there's much you can do in that case. Jimmy Graham didn't really see the field much. He's our red zone guy. He came in the red zone, made a catch. Montgomery and Williams were good out of the backfield, so I can't really complain there. And just, yeah. I don't know. I think our offense, even our offensive line, when Peters was in there, I was really impressed. Like, I genuinely was like, oh, this is working. Like, I genuinely liked what our offensive line was doing. Hopefully Peters and Borum, who also played pretty well, aren't out for a serious amount of time. They both walked off under their own power, so hopefully they're back. But Peters is 39, so injuries linger, and that really sucks. But yeah, really the only positives of this game were that the offensive line held for the most part. Montgomery was really good. Jalen Johnson was pretty good. Roquan Smith was good. The front seven in general was pretty good, but we knew that. And in general, I think the offense executed for the most part. It just, you're going up against a team where your secondary is so exploited that every single throw that they're making is 15-plus yards, and all of your throws are less than 5. So it's just frustrating to play against that. But in general, you can't really do anything against that, and I can't fault. I do fault Matt Nagy, but this good of a Rams defense, we hung in. It was 14-20. Our defense had to get a stop, and they didn't. So, yeah, that's kind of when it went downhill. I think we genuinely, if our defense got one more stop in this game, had a chance to make this game really close. But, I think the worst play call was the 4th and 15. I don't hate going for it because he's done it 3 times. I hate that all of the routes on that play didn't even go above 15 yards. Every single route on that play was an out route that was a 13-yard out. If Mooney caught the pass that Dalton threw to him, which was overthrown, he would have caught it on the sideline 3 yards short of the first down. Why are you even running a route that doesn't? Why aren't you running 4 verticals? I don't know. Also, how he handled Fields, I like that he got Fields involved a good bit. But the Rams knew that we were going to run the ball with Fields. That's why when Fields came in on the first drive and threw the pass, I was like, oh, that's good because you're making them respect Fields' ability to throw. But then every other time Fields came in, it was a gadget play, and the Rams stopped it, besides his touchdown, which they really stopped because Fields just had to fight through 2 people to get a touchdown. So, overall, I'm not really going to grade the game because it just was a bad game. Tomorrow we're going to get an episode of Was He Good out. So that is what you guys got to look forward to. Wednesday, my predictions and reactions to last week's games in full will come out. I appreciate all you guys for coming out and listening, and I will talk to you guys all as soon as possible. Thank you guys all so much. Peace out.